Sziasztok, Anka vagyok, és most, hogy kikeveredtünk a gyümölcs által okozott állapotból, megyünk is kívánni, mégpedig nem árultam zsákba macskát az előző epizódban, Strollal. És azért vele, mert azok közül, akiket itt választani tudunk, amennyire eddig megismertük őket, egyetlen egy személynek van bármely más célja, mint a közös megölni Louis, szebb jövőt, izébigyó, és a Stroll, aki vissza akarja állítani a Hália családot. Vagy a címet. Tudjátok. Ezen kívül még Baziliónak van célja, mint kiderült, a kávézó nyitása, de ő nem egy választható opció. Úgyhogy nézzük.
És?
My lord, what's in those dragon's tears? Hát, we've got Hesme babbling on and crying his eyes out, and then Hulkenberg and Yufa were having sword fights with my arms. Azt sajnálom, hogy nem láttuk. This banquet has been memorable. És mit csináltam én a gyümölcs hatása alatt? Right. Now seems as good a time as any to go make our wishes at the Dragon God statue.
All right.
You make your wish? I considered a few, but settled on wishing for our victory over Louis. Oh. Hát erről ennyit. It felt important enough. We'll have no second chance after all. Akkor gondolom mindenki más is ezt kívánja, ha még te, akinek egyébként van saját célja, is ezt kívánja. If you really think about it, you realize how with each passing moment any number of people out there in this country are making their own wishes for the future. And all those wishes, they're our responsibility too. I found that somewhat terrifying. I think I know the feeling.
Huh?
You too, huh? You know, sometimes I have this dream, well, more of a nightmare. Louis gets the best of us, and we die. Igen, ez inkább egy rémálom. Ridiculous, isn't it? To be brought so low by a dream. Especially when all I've got to do is make sure it never comes true. Ez így kimondva, de valóban nagyon egyszerűnek hangzik. What about you? Did you wish for something? For the country, for everyone's safety, I forgot to. For the country! Most menjünk a cheesy főszereplő opcióval, és majd New Game Plus-ban választom az összes fun opciót. I did. I made a wish for the country. Your wishes, they seem to come true. Igen? I felt that way since all the way back at the fort. Regardless, I have faith. In you, that is. Okay.
Hey! Hey!
Hey! Mindkettőnknek külön köszöntél egy héjjel? Okay. Did you two make your wishes, what you wish for?
Huh?
You're not supposed to tell anyone, you know. Hát akkor mindketten elcsesztük.
For real?
Well, that's unfair. I bet you told Ren. Oh, I see. Something not fit for a lady's ears, was it?
Huh?
Oh, come off it. If that's the impression I've given you, you're sorely mistaken. Tell her she's wrong. You are wrong. Never mind that, did you two notice? The brothers have been staring daggers at us since earlier. Seems like as good an opportunity as any. Might be time to go sweet talk to them, You do you, Juna. As easy as that, she's so aware of her surroundings at all times. I suppose that's how she managed to sneak into Lucy's good graces. I know I could never manage something like that.
Yeah.
I'm just surprised that even at a time like this, she has her guard up. Takes extraordinary self-discipline, and I admire her for it. Hard to tell what the Magnus brothers are thinking, but let's pray they don't catch on.
Right.
Alright, I found something interesting on the island. A fairly decent greatsword washed right upon shore. I'm not sure if you'll find it useful, but I think it's best in your hands. Csak úgy? Egy random? Okay. Jó. You're sure you want to give it to me? Tehát ez a te fegyvered, mármint láttál engem bármikor is ilyet használni? Of course, it cleaned up rather nicely with a little elbow grease. I left it on the runner, so if you want, let's go have a look. Mindenképp. Stroll gave me the gift and we returned to the others. Ó, hogy ez egy arany greatsword.
Tell, you hear all that? What that cry was talking about?
Yeah. Sounded proper familiar to me.
It's easy to blame the Sanctus Church for the whole thing, but maybe not all of them were happy about it. Makes you think. I remember St. Rella looked like her heart was breaking, seeing us at death's door. Maybe she knew what was going on. Del, what do we believe in, really? Are we absolutely positive that, you know, Count Luis's vision and ours have enough in common?
Ó, elkezdtél kételkedni. Te leszel az utolsó csapattagunk?
I thought we were done talking about this.
Úgy tűnik nem.
He's the reason we got this far. A couple of Párnapos orphans. Nobody else wants us. Nobody cares about us. We'd be nothing without Count Luis.
I know, Del, but he makes all them speeches about equality, but in the end, he's gonna leave the weak to die.
Pontosan. Tudod, Basilio érti.
I heard him talk about his ideal world, and it sounds like a world where we'd have died alone in the dirt. No Saint Rella to save us. Is that what we're fighting for?
Karakterfejlődés.
Too late for that kind of talk, brother. Blood on our hands either way.
De attól még elkezdhettek most jóvá tenni dolgokat. Hello?
Hey! What are you two doing on your own? Come join the party! You'll miss the whole festival.
Lady Juna.
What's that look about? I know you're absolutely smitten with me, love, but you needn't be so tense about it.
Do you plan to kill Count Luis?
Semmi kertelés.
What are you talking about? He can't be killed anyway.
Nem mondtad, hogy nem.
Lady Juna, I don't think your heart is with Count Luis anymore. Or maybe it never was.
Nagyon szép meglátások, nagyon helyes meglátások.
There's a side of you that you only show them. But us, starting to think we've never seen the real you.
Yep.
Are you really so worried for Count Luis? He's the one who measures worth in power. So what would he think to hear you underestimating him?
Szép fordítás.
So you don't actually work for Forden or nothing then? No ulterior motives?
I've been with Count Luis since before the race even started, haven't I? Ever since he was stripped of command.
Hey, Del.
I'm sorry if I made you worry. That's my fault. But trust me on this. I promise I'll make sure this world's got more to give you two than despair.
Nagyon szépen megfordította, és egyébként egyszer sem hazudott.
I saw it with my own eyes.
Szép munka, Juna.
That lance gets past the king's magic. That means it can kill a candidate. They were testing it among themselves, and Lady Juna was right there with them.
Ups, lebuktunk. És most azért jönnek ott, mert John ezt nem árult el nektek. Érthető?
You serious? How are we supposed to report that to Count Louis?
Don't worry, it's my own problem. I told you to leave the thinking to me.
You know, I really like Lady Juna's songs.
Aww.
And I like seeing you listening to her when you get the chance. You got arm around your heart, Del, and her music pierces it. I don't want to kill Lady Juna. And you don't either, Del. Do you?
Nem, de szerintem ő úgy gondolja, hogy az nem számít, hogy ő mit szeretne. So tonight's our last night on the island. Most már tényleg? Tomorrow is the big day, so let's make sure we're plenty rested. Még azért mehetünk helyekre? Nem, minden zárva van, mert mindenki ünnepel. Nyilvánvalóan.
What do you want to do?
We depart the island tomorrow, so you should use this opportunity to relax and get some sleep, while you still can. És Mor hagyni fog?
Good night.
Rest well. You too.
Time marches on, and the age of a new king draws nearer.
Mor hagyott minket aludni. I must say, I am sad to leave the island, if for no other reason than every meal here has been an utter delight. I'm almost certain you said the same things when we left Bryalhaven. And Martire? A new world of cuisine is but a few days away if you would just be patient. Mind your tongue, Stroll. A few days is thrice as many meals. Oh, you really are taking this hard. Well, when you've said your goodbyes to the people and the food, meet at the Cantlot Runner. Képzelem, hogy mindenki száll fel a Runnerre.
Hold on.
You know.
Okay then.
Yeah. Mindenki száll fel a Runnerre, integetünk, és az útnak a végéből megjelenik Halkamber a hátán egy hatalmas zsákkal, amiben kaja van. Ó, a kő, ugye? Igen, te vagy a... Kell vennünk bármit? Ez egy nagyon jó kérdés. Összeszedtük az összes bogot... Nem.
All right then.
Itt van mi van? Itt jártam egyáltalán? Biztos jártam, mert a térkép az jelöli, csak így... Jó. Csak mindig teleportáltam. Szerintem vettünk mindent. Azt hiszem.
You have my thanks.
I'm glad the island is safe again. The couple will be relieved as well. Couple? The couple who live in the house next door. They're expecting a child soon. The island was in turmoil, and then there was Lady Yufa. It was a troubling time for a child to be born into. But they no longer need worry about that thanks to you. We are very grateful. You should be. Ó, itt nem tudok lemászni. Na jó. Úgy látom, hogy itt már nincsen semmi. Te mit árulsz? Ó, te árulsz magukat. Te árulsz... Ó, te árulsz alapanyagokat, igen. Nagyon drága talizmánokat. Ó, el kell adnunk, mert valami cuccból van 99-ünk. Nem fogjuk tudni eladni? Most manatöltőt nem adunk el. Ott volt.
Now then.
Hát ezzel sokat nem kerestünk.
Oh, it's you.
Nézzük, milyen armor van. Yep.
Goodbye now. Hey, mister.
All right then.
Hey, mister.
This looks like a...
Hey.
This must be the dragon god at the center of the mural, and below it is the priestess and the lance, surrounded by all kinds of people. The dragon god was supposed to be at a kingdom, but it was really the opposite, huh? The people are actually being protected by the dragon god's power. Isn't it interesting how you can see these drawings in a new light once you know its context? Perhaps the same can be said for religion in general. Örülök, hogy ennek változott a jelentése, így, hogy felfedeztük a valóságot a templomban. Hol megyek le? Itt megyek le. Úgy látom, semmi érdekes. Nálad van-e bármi új, vagy csak az eddigiek? Most. De eddig is vettünk halat. Jó, akkor semmi érdekes. Ez egy nagyon kényelmetlen utazás lesz így a testvérekkel együtt, az biztos.
Looks like the sea's settled somewhat. We've got a map of the Altabury region too. I'd say we're set.
Now we can leave with our minds clear and pockets full, eh? Where are those brothers? Out on errands?
Két lám.
I say we just leave them behind.
Az nagyon gyanús lenne.
Yeah, that seems like a bad idea.
Egyetértek.
Well, long as we've got a minute alone, let's go over our plan.
Fogadjunk, hogy valahol bujkálnak és hallani fognak mindent, ugye?
As soon as we get to Altabury, we give Louise the fake lance Nurus made up for us.
While I hold on to the real one.
Remélem a fake van kinn az asztalon éppen.
Then, on the eve of this divine relic dedication ceremony, we use the real lance to end this, once and for all. He doesn't know we've worked out its powers. We'll use that to our advantage.
Szerintem így és úgy is rá fog jönni, hogy a hamis nem az, mert mint továbbra is egy nagyon magas tudással rendelkező személy, bármennyire is utáljuk.
Juna, we'll need you to convince Louise to attend the eve of the festival.
Nem hiszem, hogy nagyon győzködni kellene.
Oh, I've been pestering him to do so for a while now. Don't want him spending the evening in his heavily fortified Skyrunner after all.
So where is the false lance in question?
Az asztalon.
Right here, ready to poke an eye out. Oh, what do you think? A dead ringer, eh?
Such detail. Even I can't tell them apart.
When we get to Altabury, we'll pass off the fake to Louise. Then, we execute our plan.
Akkor remélem most megjegyeztétek, hogy a kettő közül melyik a hamis.
Oh, by the way, I was talking with the Magnus brothers earlier. Think they might be onto us.
Megkérdezték tőled szemtől szembe, hogy meg akarod-e ölni Louist, és csak gondolod, hogy gyanakodnak?
That's not good. We'll need to be more careful.
És mondjuk nem két lándzsát kínhagyni az asztalon.
Wait, footsteps. Speak of the devils. We'll need to hide the real lance.
Yes.
You're late. We were about to leave you behind.
Right, all present and counted. Anchors away, what?
Aye, aye, me hearties!
What's wrong then? Is that not the customary exclamation of sailors? Mr. Butlin was very specific.
I wouldn't believe everything he says.
Ez csak egy ártatlan tréfa, és szerintem aranyos volt.
Tis a strange melancholy, leaving the people we have so recently come to know.
Bármikor vissza tudunk teleportálni.
We'll be back. With some fantastic tales to tell them too.
Yes, certainly.
This is Altabury Heights. We'll make faster progress back on land.
Ez miért kérdés? Nem is tudok másmerre menni, kedves játék. Here's Altabury Heights. It's quite a ways. Think we'll make it in time? Without a problem. This fine wind will have us making landfall by tomorrow. So the whole trip should be 2 nights with 3 days of travel. So I'll only have to endure 1 day of being rocked sick. Now there's a grim face if I ever saw one. Captain, for Stroll's sake, let us make haste.
Tally-ho then!
Full speed ahead to Altabury Heights, capital of Ontario. Take care you don't tumble overboard now. Ugye tudok közben imagination növelni, meg
With a new
ilyesmiket.
ally in tow, the Gauntlet Runner at last departs the island toward the eastern side of the inland sea. Their destination is the Principality of Ontario. Its vast mountain crags, so different from the western terrain, can be seen clearly from the water. Their forthcoming task would be their greatest trial yet. They felt the tension rise in wordless silence.
Indeed.
Well, at least on this journey we don't have to worry about that sea monster anymore. Hey, free time! It's Dracodios, or at least a replica of it. It's completely indistinguishable from the real one. Perhaps we should give Louis this one and use the real lens against him. Perhaps? Miért csak perhaps?
Seriously.
You realize there was probably a way to get the lens that didn't involve saving the pagan girl, yeah? Though I suppose I can't complain since you got the lens either way. Still, if you want current Lisa's favor, take my advice and stop playing the hero. Nem mondhatok ellent a kampányban közölt fogadalmaimnak, hey.
You?
Got to hand it to you. Can't believe you actually got that relic of him. Couldn't afford the cock-up job from Lord Louis though, could you? Otherwise, you'd just be dead weight. But no.
This is...
Cukor és só, a szokásos. Tudunk-e bármi újat főzni? Nem. Igen, ez majd Altabury-ben. Yes. Mennyit tudunk? 5-öt. Oké.
Let's check.
Hey!
Oké, úgy érzem, tőle is eleget sütöttünk együtt. Az courage...
All right then.
Hol van... Hol van Jufa?
Let's go.
Meg vagy, imagination. Mi kell nekünk most leginkább tolerance, de arra talán nem láttam senkit. Nem. Ó, de van egy könyvünk, amit nem fejeztünk be. I think. There are more books now. Maybe you've added some to the collection. How to Walk Outside the Island. This appears to be a mastery author travelogue and guide of lands outside the island. It's been thoroughly annotated by Yufa. I have yet to start reading it. A mastery guide to life outside the island, it must be tough for them. I may gain my tolerance. Köszönjük, Yufa. Shall we spend some time reading this book? Yes. Annyira reméltem, hogy csak egyszer az olvasás során használni fogjuk a széket, vagy a kanapét, vagy legalább normálisan ülünk. This travelogue offers an introduction to cultures and customs outside Vége Island, told through the mastery author's first-hand experience. It contains practical guides for things like creating an altar while traveling or making eye contact with unmasked people. This encapsulates some of the difficulties mastery people face living outside the island. Yufa must have read and reread this thoroughly. The book is nearly in tatters. Living in a totally foreign culture seems so difficult, and yet this author and Yufa are jumping right into it. Seeing their willingness to embrace other cultures and values increase my tolerance. Nem is kicsit? Yay!
Tolerance. Why?
Akkor Mariával is tudunk majd időt tölteni,
The
amely...
Gauntlet Runner arrives at Cliffshade Camp just as the curtain of night descends on the wilderness. Ideal for their cover, it works both ways, as monsters and rogues alike await their victims in the shadows of the rocks. Only a Gauntlet Runner offers peace of mind against such dangers, a large reason why they are so sought after.
Indeed.
We should reach the city the day after tomorrow. I can feel the temperature dropping since we made landfall. I bet it will be pretty cold in Altabury. Mindenkivel imagination-t lehet növelni. Wow.
All right then.
Bent is imagination-t lehet növelni. Oké. Okay.
Pardon me, but...
Are you free at the moment? I just finished meditating and I'd like to talk with you a bit if you don't mind. By recalling the past and planning for the future with Yufa, maybe I can hone my imagination. I've only heard about the outside world from important books and my brother's stories. I can't believe that starting today I will travel those lands myself. I never would have had the confidence to attempt such a venture on my own. I am truly glad to have met you and everyone else. Welcome to the
Nice
team.
to meet you.
Yes, of course.
I know I lack experience, but I want only to contribute to this effort. I am grateful for your guidance and encouragement. Speaking of which, Juna graciously gave me some advice about trips such as this one. She said, make sure you keep one eye on your wallet whenever you're in town, and never ever ever follow a stranger somewhere. Nagyon jó tanácsok. Juna's kindness truly knows no end. I feel quite lucky to go on a trip with so many people watching over me. That reminds me, I meant to ask you, what were things like when you began this journey? I must admit, I am somewhat curious about the place where your mission began. It is my hope that one day, when this is all over, that I may visit it. Én, mint a játékos, is nagyon szeretném látni, bevallom őszintén. I felt my imagination grow as you and I discussed the possibilities ahead of us. 7 imagination pont. 7. És ez nagyon kevéssé mozdította elő a csíkot. Oh, I'm sorry. I was having so much fun talking with you. The time escaped me. Is it alright if we continue?
Time marches on, and the age of a new king draws nearer.
It would seem that
We now stand among the mountains. I have long gazed at the peaks of Ontario from the island, but I never imagined I would see them this close. Altabury remains cold year-round, so quite accordingly, its people have perfected the art of the piping hot stew. Én valamiért azt hittem, hogy meleg ruhákról lesz szó, nem meleg ételről, aztán rájöttem, hogy Halkenbergről beszélünk. And it's home to the foremost opera house in the kingdom as well. I suppose that will be the stage of our confrontation with Louise. Mi lenne, ha ezt nem így nyíltan beszélnénk meg továbbra sem?
I guess.
Let's keep our hopes high. Mindeközben Fidelio az ajtó félfának dőlve. Lehet, hogy terveznek valamit. Bazília másik oldalon. Ezt túl gondolod.
So?
Preparations. Imagination. Lehet, hogy ezeket az Imagination slotokat kihasználom, mert a könyv az mindig ott lesz, viszont láthattuk, hogy Ufa az nem mindig elérhető. És Courage az elég gyakran van Stroll személyében, meg a Colosseumban is, illetve a legtöbb küldetés ad Courage-et, Wisdomot adnak a random meglátogatott látványosságok. A Tolerance az ugye a könyvben elérhető lesz, még legalább 2-szer. Eloquence az a debate a városokban. Úgyhogy...
All right then.
Azért megnézem, hogy mi elérhető még. Hát más nem nagyon.
Actually,
Would you join me in a bit of meditation? Igen.
I'm very happy.
Let us sit before the altar. I think I hear wolves howling in the distance, but there's no way they could be so near the gauntlet runner, could they? Clear away your thoughts.
May I?
During meditation you must do nothing but feel yourself where you are, in this time and place, and accept it. No matter what you hear, just listen. Let things be as they are. Abandon yourself to the great flow of everything. I should try to do what Yufa is telling me, let things be as they are, but how? Breathe deeply. I feel like I'm gazing down at myself and all that surrounds me from high above the ground. I feel like my imagination has increased.
All right.
Farewell.
It seems you've relaxed a little, so let's keep this up a bit longer, shall we? Alrighty.
Come look at this!
You lot aren't going to believe the view I'm seeing outside. I'm hitting the brakes. Ingyen wisdom pontok.
The Gauntlet Runner makes a short stop in front of Colerodio Cliff, a bluff so tremendous it fills one's vision. Its massive fissure is said to be the vestige of a god's wrath, as only a force capable of splitting heaven and earth could cause it. Perfectly balanced by the work of nature, or the wrath of gods extolled in the myths of creation, none can say.
Hű.
Whoa.
Absolutely incredible. I've heard of sheer cliffs before, but I never imagined something like this. Ancient. Indeed, falling off of that precipice would be unfathomably terrifying and exhilarating, I imagine. Makes me want to jump. No, de kiáltani sem annyira. I'd like to try jumping off of it.
On guard!
Oh, Halkenberg, mi történik? Oh, what's gotten into you? My, that was rather pleasing. It's quite refreshing, you know, to pull your voice from the very bottom of your gut and yell in such a manner.
Speaking of...
Igen, ezt akartam mondani én is, hogy egyszer már csináltunk ilyet. I am reminded of the time you were all yelling before me. It was a rather terrible experience, I admit. But if I may, I would like to try my hand at this yelling.
Listen!
I feel you.
Yes.
How amusing! I would also like to try screaming as well. Úgy látom, neked nem fog menni. What's the matter? I fully intended to do it, but the words just won't come out at all. This girl is just too charming. Never change, love. Well, does anybody else have something to yell about? I sense that gazing over the cliff's edge and being filled with an unexplainable urge to scream has somehow broadened my wisdom.
As for me...
Then I suppose it's ordinary, sister. I've prepared a list of complaints that I wish I could recite to you all on a daily basis, and... Rather chilly out here, isn't it? We should head back before we'll catch a cold. Yes, we shouldn't allow ourselves to spend too much time on these distractions.
Bombs away!
Hát, Noresz, igazából maradhattál volna, mert nélküled úgysem indulunk sem erre.
The gauntlet runner stops amidst rocky terrain as twilight envelops the wilderness in darkness. The twinkling lights are not all stars. Some are the eyes of monsters, peering through the dark. To await the dawn in comfort and peace is a privilege only the gauntlet runner can provide.
Nagyon sok rajzot kell megmutatnunk Mariának. Ó, most piros pogár. We've only got a limited amount of time left to enjoy these quiet moments. Once we get to Altabury, well, you know what's going to happen. Yes, yes. Minden egyes nap emlékeztetsz rá, hogy felejthetném el. Apropó.
What now?
Small mana recovery every turn in battle. Okay. I'll take it. I'll absolutely take it. Jól láttam, hogy ebből nem, ebből van kettőnk, ami most rólam. Oké. Imagination all around. Ali. At this pace, we'll reach Altabury sometime tomorrow. You got the lance in the end, so I'll not deny you've got the skills for this, but I'll still be watching you until it's in Count Lewis's hands. Sure.
Hey.
The night chills are creeping in. Suppose that means we're closing in on Altabury. And once the lance is in Lord Lewis's hands, I'll be out of your hair, eh? The days really flew by. Ha te mondod, én nem így éreztem. Are you looking for something to do? My weapons are as sharp as they're going to get, and I'm not up to too much. Care to keep me company for a while? By recalling the past and planning for the future, imagination, így van. I can't believe we actually fought the Dragon God. I admit I had my doubts about our chances, but we managed to get the Divine Relic and save Yufa. All in all, I think things went rather well. You declared that you'd help anyone in need, and that wasn't just speaking empty rhetoric. Wherever you go, you really do end up just naturally helping people.
Right.
There's a lot of people who need help. Yeah. We can help the people in front of us, but we won't be able to aid everyone until we fundamentally change things about the kingdom at large. I've been thinking about it for some time, about the country we'll build once the prince wakes up. I've been thinking about Yufa's situation, and I've concluded that we shouldn't be a country that willingly sacrifices the minority to build the strength of the majority. Hey. Our country subjugates the minority tribes, and the one that Louis would build will oppress the weak. All this, and the kingdom still barely functions. Louis wouldn't change that. This world is not just for the strong. We've got to put an end to societies that only survive through the sacrifice of others. We need to defeat Louis.
All right.
Ó, ezért most csak 4-et kaptunk. What time is it? Do we need to hit the hay? We're still fine.
Time marches on, and the age of a new king draws nearer.
'Tis nearly time.
This only ways further until we reach Altabury. The city is likely abuzz with activity related to Sensei. I wonder if Luis is already there. Sooner or later, we have to hand Recodios over to him. One must wonder what the brothers will tell him on our time on the island. I hope they will leave out any unnecessary details, mint például...
Got it?
We just have to stand tall and be confident. If you have to sell a lie, look them straight in the eye and say every word like you truly believe it. Szerintem nagyon jól kijönnél Alonsoval, Juna.
All right then.
Got a sec?
This will be the last time we'll be able to relax for a while. Once we arrive, we'll be jumping right into it. I can't blame you for feeling nervous. After all, we know what's coming.
Actually,
Yep.
I'm very happy.
A meditation az 6 pontot ad, meg úgy általában Újabbal az interakció 6 pontot ad. My legs are numb after sitting in the same position for so long. Átérzem. Try to clear your mind.
May I?
Meditation is about freeing yourself from your cage of a body and conversing with your soul. If you listen to the voice of your heart, everything here in the world should cease to bother you. I should attempt to do what she says, listen to the voice of my heart, but how? Focus on my numbness. I accepted the sensation of pain and it faded into the distance. I became oblivious to the external stimuli and my power of concentration increased. Again, imagination increased.
Farewell.
It seems you relaxed a little. Kíváncsi vagyok, mikor fogynak el az egyedi szövegezések az ilyen tevékenységeknél.
Nura speaking.
I've got something on the Altgears radar, so we'll be taking a short stop.
Before Altabury's mountains, the Gauntlet Runner sets upon the Murky Grevayard. The colossal bridges overhead are an impressive sight. During the Annex War, this land was a fierce battleground. Many soldiers, unable to return to their loved ones, found their final rest here. But few honor the dead. Their spirits take no solace. Their tragic remains are desecrated by wild dogs, leaving their bones exposed to the elements.
Creepy. Milyen modern hidak azok ott feladtunk.
Just look at it.
Oh, these bridges are huge. This is an area defined by its numerous valleys. The bridges connect the flatlands and increase the amount of places in which people may live. Oh, that makes sense. But if these bridges were to fall in battle, these people wouldn't be isolated. Yes, all very fascinating, but have you looked at what's directly in front of you? Those are the bones of people, aren't they? They are the remains of those who fell during the Annex War. This was the site of a fierce battle, and the dead were left to the elements, denied by dignity of a proper burial. Morris pont ugyanezt mondta. War is tragic, and we shouldn't disrespect the fallen here. Indeed, I can't bear to think of something on this scale happening again. It brings me no pleasure to see it, yet is valuable to experience the cold reality of battle beyond the legends and tales of valor. Carve this memory into your hearts. That is why the magla that drifts about this place carries such an oppressive weight. I can feel the sadness and the regret of those whose lives came to an end here. My wisdom has deepened.
Hey!
Something wrong, Nuras? Your face has gone blue. Perhaps this place scares you, Nuras. My powers of imagination are more robust than most, akkor miért nem veled szoktunk beszélgetni? Why, Nuras, I'm surprised you put any stock in scary stories. You're a more gentle soul than I gave you credit for. Too true, too true. Before all else, I am a delicate flower.
Well then.
Well then, shall we make a quiet departure so as not to rouse the dead?
That's my fault.
I'm sorry to have made such a fuss. I would like to give those who died a proper send-off, and through this with that in mind.
Altabury Heights, capital of the Principality of Montario, the eastmost country annexed into the Kingdom of Uchronia. The mountain path leading to the city begins near the coastline, but few gauntlet runners can contend against its steep slope. Those who complete the arduous climb are rewarded. City lights, dusted with snow, twinkle beautifully in the valley. But what awaits the party there is no reward, but their greatest trial thus far. The hour of reckoning draws near, and they steel themselves anew.
The seat of sanctism, Altabury. Truly, I never thought I would see it in person. What is that giant structure?
The monolith. In Sanctus Scripture, they tell of how the stone was shaped by God's own hand.
It's afloat. I'd only heard rumors that it didn't touch the ground, but to see it now.
Are we finally moving again?
Just another trip for our songstress.
We're here at last.
We decided to present Louis with Recodios, Lance of the Dragon God, aboard his gauntlet runner, the Charadrius. Let's hope he doesn't find out the lance is a fake.
Well done. So this is the Lance of Legend, is it?
Judah, te beszélsz, te tudsz a legjobban hazudni.
I am called Euphrasia, priestess of the island. For personal reasons, I have joined them on their journey.
Vagy csak beszélünk teljesen másról, az is egy jó taktika.
You do not detest me?
Ó, dehogy nem.
I owe my life to them, and I understand they operate under your guidance.
Indeed. I had heard you were able to obtain the lance without incurring the islanders' hatred. Quite a feat, now that I know it to be true. Well done. At last, it seems that even fate has abandoned Fortin. Thanks to you, I was spared the effort of sifting through ashes to find this. If the islanders could not be persuaded, my next course would have been to raise their village to the ground. The Charadrius' batteries would make that a fairly simple task.
Semmi oka nem volt arra, hogy ezt eláruld és feltűhítsd vele Juffát. Kihagyhattad volna ezt a pár mondatot, és semmi baja nem lett volna veled. Oh, for fuck's sake.
What?
Why are you surprised? At times, sacrifice is necessary to save the many. Was that not the exact reasoning by which your countrymen would have seen you die?
A zene.
You're...
A logikája amúgy nem teljesen rossz, de nem is kikezdhetetlen.
Have the lance brought to my chamber later. Thank you for your hard work in spite of your wound. Take care of yourselves. Yufa
saját önszántából áldozta volna fel magát, és más valaki áldozata, aki ezt saját akaratából csinálja, meg más lebombázni egy egész falut.
Now we need only to wait until tomorrow for the Saints' Day festival.
Ezt nem én nyomtam el, ott hiányzott a szónak a második fele.
The whole event will be held over 2 days at the Opera House.
The first day is the eve of the festival, and I'm scheduled to sing. Hope you're looking forward to it.
Main festivities start on the second day. That's when all these divine relics will be dedicated and sealed. It's aimed at proving beyond a doubt that sanctism is the highest authority.
All kind of daft though, isn't it? If they were that confident in their scriptures, you'd think they wouldn't have to bother with all that.
This is where Forden dies. He and Sanctism itself. At the very least, it's worth giving him a memorable end.
Lord Louise, I do hope you'll come and watch me sing this time. We missed you at the opening ceremony. If you're not there, it'll hardly be worth it.
You needn't worry. Having come all this way, it would be a waste not to show.
Ja, mondtam, hogy nem lesz szükség nagy győzködésre.
Well, I'm off to check out the Opera House. Want to make sure everything's ship-shape for my solo, of course.
Nagyon zavar, hogy a haja beleglitchel a jobb karjába.
The rest is up to you.
Ez ráért volna később is.
You have all performed admirably. You exceeded my every expectation. Soon, Forden's reign will come crashing down. From this point onward, I would have you forfeit the competition and dedicate yourself fully to my campaign.
Not happening.
Understood.
Mondom, nem.
For now, rest your wings a while. Tomorrow's festivities will be a grand show indeed.
Indeed.
It seems the land's past muster. Eurus is a peerless craftsman, if not else.
Miért a nyílt utcán beszélgetünk erről?
Yufa? Are you okay?
He would have destroyed my home. How could he suggest such carnage with not a shade of guilt? I was sure that deep down, all people are inherently good at heart. But now...
És találkoztál Louis-szal 2 percre, és ez a világnézet fenekestől felborult. Egyből.
You made it sound like you were bound to kill him at any cost. And now I understand why.
I see. Then let's get back on track and go find ourselves an inn. You've got more supporters now. I dare say we'll find better lodging than we could before.
I wouldn't be so sure. This city's in the palm of Forden's hand, and we're the ones who humiliated him during the exhibition.
Akkor elteleportálunk Grantradba, alszunk Fabiennél, és visszateleportálunk. Meg van oldva.
All the same, we're about to do something big. To be honest, I'll take anywhere, so long as I can stretch out.
Let's set up camp right here. Sure.
Let's just stay in the Gauntlet Runner.
As a last resort, maybe, but it might do us some good to see the city itself. Do a bit of scouting for our plans. Let's call the runner our fallback plan.
Fine, fine.
Then why don't we look for an inn run by a Mustari?
Pont Altabury-ben lenne egy fogadó, amit egy Mustari visz. What?
I thought this city was the seat of the church.
Igen.
In times before the church, it said many diverse faiths and teachings took root in this city. That's why Montario is the only mainland nation that trades with the islands.
Oh.
Indeed. My grandfather often said that until his generation, the only prominent building of the Sanctus Church was that opera house. Though the prevailing story now, of course, is that Sanctism reclaimed this land from malevolent pagans.
Nyilván.
Either way, I'm certain there should be quite a few Mustari who feign conversion and live in seclusion.
If one of these Mustarians really exists, it may work in our favor. Let's look for it.
Csak a maszkos embereket kell keresnünk, illetve személyeket. Úgyhogy nem hiszem, hogy nehéz dolgunk lesz.
Speaking of...
If it is a Mustari-owned inn we seek, then I know of one in the center of town. This called Skyward Tower. Hát így meg pláne nem lesz nehéz dolgunk. I recall it being rather pleasant, with very little that would point to its Mustari roots. It was on Diafranco Street, if I'm not mistaken. So cold! At least Halkenberg is in her element. Can we get going before we freeze, though? Sure. És közben bogarakat fogunk keresni. Csak úgy mondom. Te nagyon shady-nek nézel ki.
Well met, eh?
We welcome you to Altabury. Good lord, aren't you that Alda candidate? Out with you. Ez gyors volt. Go back once you came. Az első NPC, akivel beszélünk. Mintha csak Grand Redban lennénk. This land is under the protectorate of the Sanctus Church. We've no shelter for heathens. I guess we've reached some level of notoriety, haven't we? Yeah. Yeah.
This is the best.
I hear there's a motley crew of candidates gathered here. This year's Sands Day is looking to be the most festive celebration we've had yet. I've heard rumors that relics once belonged to the church, which would mean His Eminence Forten's standing is as good as a shirt. Hol van a... itt van, közvetlen fölöttünk, azért nem látom teljesen. Jó.
What in the blazes?
What in the blazes? Ó, te vagy a maglabróker, te annyira nem érdekelsz.
My wits have left me, I believe.
What are you doing lying in the middle of a public route? Are you quite alright? You do realize you're in the way, don't you? Why, I never. Don't you just stare? Get up. Away with you. Nem hiszem, hogy ezzel sokra mész majd.
There's nothing there.
Fine. Akkor körbenézünk máskor. Mountain Recruitment Center. Az első épület, amit megtalálunk. Holly. Bounties. I would love to check, but I'm kind of busy right now. Come back when things have settled down a bit. I've got a lot of requests. Van olyan érzésem, hogy ennél csak zűrösebbek lesznek a dolgok, és ez a legnyugodtabb éjszakád. Egy jó darabig. Oh, hello.
Yes, hello.
Not in my wildest imaginings did I believe you'd survive long enough to meet me here in Altabury. In all honesty, I'm shocked you made it past the exhibition. Nevertheless, you'll be sorry to know I've acquired my offering relic as well. Such a spectacular offering will surely astonish citizens and candidates alike. Ha te mondod, arra kell menni, akkor erre nézelődünk még. Aha. Innen jöttünk mi? Honnan hát? Fine. Ez valóban egy jó nagyváros.
Wonderful, isn't it?
Oh there.
You there. Is the view not spectacular here? That impressive structure out there is called the monolith. The rumors were true. It looks like a sculpture jutting out of the sky more than the ground. Truly a sight to behold. With the opera house at its base, it's truly this city's landmark. It was well worth the trip from Grand Trad to lay eyes upon it.
Wonderful, isn't it?
Kíváncsi vagyok, hogy itt is találkozunk az utazó NPC-vel.
Say there.
Blue Sky Bridge.
Right. All right then.
Alright then.
Hang on. That's the one from the exhibition.
Yep, ez vagyok én, igen. Pharmacy.
Hey!
Vannak-e bogaraid? Every new city we visit has their own unique wares. Though I suppose this shop isn't as exotic as the ones in Etriaver. Ez így van. Engedj oda!
Greetings.
What is it that you need? Please leave as soon as you've finished. Wow. Eladni valunk nincs. Nem, megvárjuk az akciós napot, csak körbenézek. Igen, megvárjuk az akciós napot. Ó, nem kell többet elmenni külön a templomba. Ja nem, ott a 100%-os revival van. El kell mennünk a templomba. May inflict this. Removes all the buff effects on all allies. Very nice. Oké, akkor már itt sem vagyok, ha csak. I wonder how they grew all these plants in the store. It's so cold in this area. I imagine plants like these would wither right away. Oké, úgy látom, hogy nincsen bogár. Aha! Yes! Egy épülettel arrébb. Interesting. The store crafts all of the weapons they sell themselves. I can still feel the heat coming off of them. I think that part up there siphons off the smoke. The mechanics of it are all pretty impressive. Csak vigyázz, hogy téged ne szívjon be. Sounds like their materials were all brought in from a nearby mine, so it must be easier for the shopkeeper to appraise their quality. It all seems very well made.
Get yourself a good deal.
My shop's the #1 dealer of quality weapons. You'll be a regular in no time, I hope. I received a message from the License Magic Association saying you need a discount. Good for you. Yay! Attack damage against plant type monsters, undead type monsters. Most 200 000, Small MP Recovery, aha, Alstat +3, jó, what do you mean staying in the showroom? There's nothing but storage back there and nothing's for sale. Wow, look at all the sharp stuff she's got. Feels like I'm getting attacked just looking at it. Alig várom, hogy megkapjuk a küldetést, ami után bemehetünk oda és vásárolhatunk onnan. Jó,
All right then.
A páncélos helységet megnézzük később. Oké, akkor megvan a pódium, megvan a kő.
You're not serious.
Flower selling. Excuse me, but have you ever considered growing flowers? But it sounds like too much of a time commitment. Well, that's certainly understandable. I sell not only beautiful flowers, but also special seeds. Perhaps some hero's jeweled root seed are more your style. They're certainly more practical. These seeds are premium crop. Any interest? No, thank you.
So long, then.
Mi archetypokkal formulunk ilyesmiket, nem növesztünk idő elhasználásával. Sir.
Oh, grand.
Hello there.
Care to buy some meat, lad? Yeah? Oh.
Oh, grand.
Well now, what are we on about?
The city will surely flourish by hosting the tournament during Science Day, but it vexes me. We must receive such a swath of unruly, impious rebel. Nem tudom, kiről beszélsz. I only wish they showed the proper respects for these hallowed celebrations. I throw them in the dungeons if they continue behaving like ill-mannered swine. Ahogy mondod. Closure come to buy some water. Igazából a mana része jobban érdekel. Bizony. Mellow milk. Jó, a többi az van, köszönöm szépen.
All right then.
Erre vajon elmehetünk, vagy Galika visszafordít? Nem, elmehetünk. Ó, elérkeztünk az operaház. Ez nagyon hangulatos. Bogár? Hát pedig, ha én bogár lennék, biztos, hogy itt lennék. Ezért megérte följönni.
Just sublime.
Egyetértek. Wow. Meddig megyünk? Bogár! Wow.
Amazing.
Indeed, 'tis not so bad.
Pardon? Incredible.
Get a load of these statues. You know, without the monoliths overshadowing everything, you can see just how dazzling the opera house really is.
I'm chuffed.
Ja, bemehetünk.
Let's not.
Tomorrow's the big day. Fine. Na, hadd mozogjak. Köszönöm.
Wonderful.
Akkor menjünk.
Well, nothing I can do about it.
Nem mondom, hogy minden nap szívesen fölmásznék ide, ha csak nincs ilyen repülőkartom.
All right then.
Hey, mister. How grand.
All right then.
Ja, jó, felmegyek.
Hello there.
Hello there.
Yeah, amazing.
Aha.
Oh, hey, Moore.
Now, where was I?
Ridiculous.
Louis is the fresh knave who commanded his subordinates to steal the royal scepter from the Grand Cathedral in Grand Rad. I can only imagine what wicked tricks that villain has up his sleeve for Saint's Day. No harm in preparing for the worst, I always say. Nagyon jók a megérzéseid, haver, keep it up.
Wait a second.
Hey, watch it. I know the view is incredible, but one slip and it's all over. After everything it took to get there, falling down would be a terrible joke. Let's keep the sightseeing to a minimum, okay? És a kardomon vajon le tudok lebegni?
Wait a second.
Oké, ugyanaz. Jó van. Oh.
Here.
As expected from Rudolph, his runner looks like it's ready for war. Hope we don't have to get in a fight with this thing anytime soon. Én nem vennék rá mérget. Ez... Meg akartam támadni a random hordót.
Amazing.
És ez... Kidoé. Sure feels like a long time ago we first fought against Kido and his runner, and he's hated you ever since.
You're not serious.
Now what am I to do?
Oh, hello.
You little...
Oh, look who decided to turn up. You've got some nerve showing that mug in front of me. What? Did we do something to you? Egyszer legyőztünk debate-ben, ugye? Oh, playing the fool, are we? I see your game, but what's good for the goose is good for the GURP. I'll settle the score with you shortly. Maybe he's had one too many.
Oi.
Welcome. Wait. A band of youths with a knight and a huge chief.
Yeah, híresek vagyunk.
Are you perhaps the candidate who brought Joanna the Sanctoress to confess?
Oh, nem hittem volna, hogy erre leszünk híresek masteri körökben.
One glance and you knew. Listen, we just...
I don't care if you did the deed or not, but please take your business elsewhere. I'm sorry, but I have my own reputation to think about.
You follow Sanctism's teachings?
You? A Mustari who wears no mask?
I'm Euphausia. I'm the priestess of Verga. No, of Edria.
The priestess? Impossible! The island priestess would never leave the village behind.
Well...
I have my reasons, but I wish to see the outside world that I might better protect our island. I have no proof, but
You would raise another tribe to the throne.
'Tis a longer story than we've time to tell. We only wish to avoid a tyrant's reign. Yet 'tis not from our own ambition that I speak so. The throne belongs to one truly worthy.
But if you insist, we will leave.
It's just... You look so like the priestess before you, I can't just turn you away.
Aww. Akkor ezek szerint ismerte Jufa szüleit.
Fine. You can stay here, as long as you don't make trouble for me.
Thank you. I suppose it is easier to understand each other without the masks in the way.
Not all of us mainland Mystari hate the Sanctus Church. We'd rather preserve the peace we have.
Érthető.
And, well, it's a sorry excuse for an innkeep who turns away travelers.
Thank you. We're in your debt.
Ah, look, they've got food and booze here too. And it's so much cooler, which means fewer bugs. Perfect.
It seems they have an imitation of the island spring here. We can bathe. I should invite Juno when she's back.
Oh.
Bathe? You'd be mad to hope a hot spring replica could take the edge off this chill.
Cold or not, there's nothing more refreshing than bathing. Would you care to join us?
I should think not. For reasons too numerous to count.
Why?
Anyway, strategy meeting. Let's get on with it.
So we seek to assassinate Luis. A difficult task. But you look to have an idea. Let's have it.
Nem szeretnénk ennél jobban eldugni a láncsát? Legalább bezártuk az ajtót.
First, the when. Under normal circumstances, we'd want to get him on the move. Maybe walking through a crowd while he's got less guards. That would be the plan.
Hát ez a helyzet, hogy ezzel a hatalmas láncsával nem jutunk a közelébe túl könnyen.
But unfortunately, that'd only work if he was someone with common sense. Someone without combat ability. Or someone who'd want to avoid collateral damage. And that isn't Luis. Worst case, he uses civilians as shields while more of his personal guard catch up. And things go sideways before we can get it done.
But once he's inside the Opera House, he'll have a security detail at his beck and call. Even if we can sneak in, getting to him.
És ez még csak a hogyan jutunk oda hozzá része, még csak nem is a hogyan győzzük le harcban része.
If we can't target him in transit, and we've practically zero chance of getting close to him, that leaves us with only one option.
Attack from a distance, join his personal guard. Láncsát soha nem fogjuk oda bevinni, attack using magic, levédi a király mágiája, szóval mindegy.
We attack from a distance.
Exactly.
Láncsavető? Mi a terv?
A bow and arrow isn't gonna do much good, right? It needs to be the lance.
Of course. So, what if we threw the lance? Pierced him through from a distance?
Hogy?
Yufa, as the priestess, you can command the lance to return to you if it's far away, right?
Oh, ez egy fontos részlet.
You would have me use that power in reverse to cast it out instead.
According to Juna, the ceiling of the Opera House has a chandelier big enough to support a person. From above, we'll target Luis in the royal box seats.
Imádom ezt a rajzot. Hát ez nagyon cuki. Igen, ott vagyunk, felmegyünk a lépcsőn. Rá a chandelierre, megöljük Luis, Yufa közben énekel. Többiek még nem tudom, partiznak valahol.
You realize the entire audience is below that lighting? A stunt like that would get us noticed instantly.
Senki sem fölfele néz, mindenki Junaira néz.
Wait, are you suggesting we do this during the show?
Yep.
Louise will be distracted. It's the best opportunity we could ask for. Besides, with Yufa there, we can even recover the lance easily.
Hold a moment. I would need to launch it like an arrow. Such distance and such speed would require incredible focus. I don't think I could do it while aiming.
Then just concentrate on the sheer mental force of it. Someone else can take over the role of actually throwing.
Hulkenberg, mint aki tényleg lándzsákat használ.
This gambit is sounding more far-fetched by the moment. But we also can't afford to wait for another opportunity.
There is no other opportunity. Luis intends to kill Forden during the festival. That means if we do nothing, the fake will be exposed, and so will we.
Fair enough. De végül is ugye ezt is tisztáztuk, hogy a párbaj is áthatol a király mágiáján, szóval ha párbajra hívja a fék lándzsával, akkor nem fogja tudni, hogy a lándzsa fék, mert így sem úgy sem fog működni majd a védelem.
Indeed. Once our betrayal is made plain, we will never find a way to draw close to him again. This will likely be our first and last opportunity.
Ezzel csak annyit akartam, hogy miért nem várjuk meg, amíg megöli Fordont? Igen, tudom, pont azért, amit elmondtak, hogy nem tudunk közelébe jutni, meg igazából mi csak Louist akarjuk megölni, de valljuk be, hogy belfér mellette Forden is.
But who's actually going to do the throwing?
Az úgyis én leszek.
I'd rather leave it to you.
Yeah.
With the royal magic protecting you, it's less likely that we'll fail this, even with interference. And besides? Laugh, if you like. I know it sounds silly, but I really do believe you have the power to change fate itself.
Ez nagyon megtisztelő, de maradjunk az első érvednél, mert annak volt értelme.
Indeed. Everyone here knows that firsthand.
I feel the same. If I can trust you to do it, then I should be able to do my part as well.
Szóval az én hibám lesz. Oh, fuck.
Will you do it, Captain?
Oké, akkor menjünk bele teljesen.
I planned to from the beginning.
Right. I see. Well then. We're counting on you. On the day of, Juna will be at the venue ahead of us. We'll have her open the service entrance, and we'll infiltrate from there.
Is there anything I can do to help?
Légy résen, hallgatóz.
I want you to lure Luis's guards outside and cause a commotion while he's making the throw. I'm sure the Magnus brothers will be guarding the place too.
Ez egy jó terv.
Hulkenberg and I will secure the exit route in advance. Luis is a formidable foe. But we've overcome plenty of obstacles. Let's believe in the strength that got us this far. We can do this.
Don't worry about it.
I know there's a lot weighing on your mind right now, but let's just try to get some rest and prepare for tomorrow. It can get even colder at night, so try not to get sick. A mi ágyunk is el van szigetelve a többitől. Én ezt adom. Bármi, amit meg lehet nézni Bogár ügyben. De... No. I shouldn't go out right now. Okay. So this is Altabury-be. Colder climes tend to inspire stronger drinks among its people. Bottle that can wait until after our business is finished. Once fate rounds, Louis, I can think of no better celebration than a good, stiff drink. That was my first time seeing snow, and it was so cold I shivered. What a sensation! Alright, Jenna's going to meet up with us later tonight because she's got so many things to do behind the scenes. You go ahead and rest up. You've got a big role to play tomorrow yourself, after all.
At last.
Tomorrow is finally Sans Day. Louis will show his face, and with the real lance, we'll Don't worry, I'm prepared to do what we must. That man must be stopped. És ezt egyébként ellenőrizték, hogy ez igazi van nálunk, mert lehet, hogy rájöttek, a testvérek is kicserélték. It's the real Dracodios. It has an aura the fake could never match. Obviously. And tomorrow I have to use it to... Yep. The fact that the land's past master is a testament to Nures's skill, sometimes the man can achieve truly amazing things. Even now, he's hauled up in the runner working away, tuning something or other with usual vigor, I don't doubt. He has his curse, to be sure, but there can be no mistaking that he's a great credit to our endeavors. Tényleg itt nincsen sehol bogár. Szomorú vagyok. Akkor nem sokára elmegyünk aludni, és holnap megpróbáljuk meggyilkolni Louist, amiben biztos vagyok benne, hogy nem fog sikerülni. Már csak azért is, mert... hol van?
What now?
Galika továbbra is 6-os szintű, és ugye ő a sztori mérőnk. Úgyhogy lehet, hogy ez lesz a 7-es, a holnapi nap, de utána még mindig kell majd egy 8-as. Nagyon kíváncsi vagyok, hogy mi fog történni. Illetve továbbra is van még egy followerünk, akit nem állakoltunk. Valószínűleg Bazilió lesz az, nem tudom milyen úton, módon, de az eddigi jelentek alapján nagyon úgy tűnt. Várom a játékbeli holnapi napot, kíváncsi vagyok, hogy mi történik. Remélem nem hal meg senki, akit szeretünk. Meglátjuk. Köszönöm, hogy velem tartottatok, és találkozzunk legközelebb. Sziasztok!